Hey, this is Steve. Hey, let's talk flatbeds today. I like doing flatbeds. There's so many varieties of them out there. I mean, it don't matter what you do, you can't go wrong. Okay. I mean, they're just unreal how many. Okay, let's look at these right here. This is the Herpa that you can buy with some of the kits and stuff that come with the tractor that I've been working with. They look good. I mean, they got a nice frame underneath them. I take the wheel sets off and everything, and I put the Deluxe Innovation wheel set up under it. I like them better. There's a lot more detail. Good looking rims and tires. I mean, and on the top here, I took a real thin piece of styrene and I just painted it brown. I still got to scratch my lines in there, and then I'll do something with them. Okay, how do I make my scratch built ones? Well, the first thing I do is I have to take this 53-foot trailer right here, and I just get me a pattern off of the top of it. It's 53 foot, width, length is all correct. So, and that's a Deluxe Innovations product. And you can do this with a 40, 45, 48 foot also. Okay, so now what I do from here is I've got my channels, my railing that I'll put up underneath it for the frame, and I'll use everything from 0.0, 40, 60, 60, and 80. And this can either be a I-beam or it can be a C-channel. It doesn't matter. It's in scale. You're not going to see up under the center of it unless you got them hanging in the air. Okay, where do I get most of my parts from? Well, Cado, out of their semi and container and chassis kits. Sometimes I'll take the chassis off of this, and all you gotta do is put you a deck on there for that, put you a filler piece in here, and you've got frame pre-built. But now it is a little too high if you're doing a standard 53-foot flatbed. So sometimes what you may have to do is cut the axles and the wheels off here, and then take a thin layer out, and from there then you can drop it down to height. Okay, that's just one version, but what I like to do better than anything is make my own frame. I'll call Deluxe or go on their website, and Dave's got frame or tandem axle kits. He's got the tandems, and you can buy them, put them together, and you get, you know, a beautiful set of axles for the trailer. Mud flaps are attached. Very little work. May have to trim off these little tags right here, but that's no big deal. He also has ICC bumpers, and he's got two styles of landing leg gearbox frames and two style landing legs, raised and lowered. Now, if you're familiar with road railers and some of their semi trucks that you can buy everywhere, you'll notice that you'll get an extra set of these dolly legs with them, and you'll also get an ICC bumper extra. That's a great place to get the parts. If you're lucky enough to get a box of 8 or 10 of the Schneider, the Swift, excuse me, the Triple Crown road railers, then you'll get noodles of parts for the ICC bumpers and the landing legs. I mean, oodles of them. The axle frame combination here, you'll probably have to order from him unless you just strip something down. But as you can see, this flatbed here, I added ribs down the side of it. That's time consuming. You just have to put your little spacers in there, just a real thin piece of plastic down the side of it. Paint your deck, cut your grooves in it. Underneath it, this is where I just used the standard channel iron, different sizes, to get my form a little bit lower, thinner, up here on the nose of it where your fifth wheel will connect. Kingpin, it could be anything, piece of scrap styrene, straight pin, anything you want to use. And then I just added the axles right here. Now this is a different set. I forget, this is just total scratch built here. And then the ICC bumper, that's a Deluxe product. Let's go to this one here. This one I haven't done the conspiracy markings yet, but you can see how I've had to piece it together and stuff like that. And this is just an axle off of the Cado container frame that I sliced off and put up under there. Now this one here is another Cado frame that I put up, sliced off and put up under there. And as you can see, I done a little bit different on the frame down there. So I've got a wider frame on the one on the left, narrow on the right, and basically did away with the frame up here. I just reinforced this with a different piece of sheet plastic. Okay. Underneath is, you don't have to worry about the detail. I mean, I'm sorry, who's going to crawl up under your layout to look underneath the trailer? I mean, if you're going to do it for show, yeah, you could really get precise here. Now this here, the split axle, I've took it from a deluxe and everything, and what I've done is I've cut the axles in two here and spaced them apart and just built me a little box. Now what I did here is I just took some real thick plastic and put what, 3 to 4 layers thick. That gives me the impression of doors or a little bit of rivet line or something like that. And we go back here with the deluxe ICC bumper. Sometimes I'll do the tail lights. I'll either paint them by taking the smallest piece of round pipe, tubing pipe I can find, and dabbing it and then tapping them, or I'll use the little decals. But that looks pretty decent. Now all these tarps that you see here, you got red and you got blue. Well, thin plastic of any type, any color, whatever you want for a tarp. What I use is the plastic wrapper off of a big box of Charmin toilet tissue. I like the colors and they're easy to maneuver and fold with. Okay, banding strips on these flatbeds, just real thin styrene. Stretch them, lay them out, bend them to your shape, paint them the color you want. For the cables and the banding on the pipe itself, I just use common thread. I mean, it's the closest thing to a cable we can get. Now this item here is from Wheels of Time. It's their new container handler, extra container loader piece. And then I just added some boxes up here, and it also comes with these little chains here, which makes an awesome load. And I'll have to have a CSX truck pulling that. But that's pretty much what I do. I mean, there's so many variations of flatbeds. You don't have to follow any pattern. I mean, they all look good and they're in scale. It don't matter what you do, they're going to look great. Just like the headboards on them. The headboards can be any style that you want. Some have ridges, some don't. And some are thicker and thinner. It just depends on what I'm going to haul as to how I'm going to build a trailer. But you can see that it's just a good variety. Most of these got the landing gears up because they'll definitely be on the road. They'll be having one of these road trucks with them. Alright, well that's where I stand on flatbeds. Sorry I can't get into a little more detail by building one, but maybe we can do that on the next video or something. Alright, thank you.